Hi guys, in today's video we're going to talk about brass. Okay, I have a big pile of brass right here that I picked up from the range. And this is just range pickup brass, so I'm going to have to sort through it and see what calibers are what to make sure that, to separate them, make sure that I don't put a 40 case into a 9mm bag. I like to keep my brass separate. That's just the way I like to do it. But this video is about is, a lot of reloaders we're starting to get into this argument thing on the reloading, where one guy does it one way and another guy does another. And I'm here to say, as long as you're safe, there's no right way or really wrong way to do it. As long as you're putting out good quality ammo and you're not overpressuring the case or underpressuring or getting squib loads, then you're doing fine. And brass is one of those things. Yes, you can go to the range and you can pick up brass and you can get free brass. And there's nothing wrong with doing that. There's nothing wrong with going to get in the range and finding free brass. But when you're doing that, you need to make absolutely sure that you're inspecting those cases because, some could have some cracks. They could be stepped on. They could have puncture wounds in them, if you will. But also, there is no problem with going to a range, especially the range that you go to a lot or the range that you frequent a lot, going to that range and purchasing brass. A lot of times, people say, well, there's no need to purchase brass. There's no need to purchase brass because you can get it free. And that's true. You can get a lot of brass free. But there's a lot of benefit to going out to your local range, supporting those people who have taken their land or their property or their time, who have made it where you have a place that you can go shoot. A lot of people don't have the opportunity, necessarily that I have, that can go shoot in their backyard. That's a blessing from God. But, I also go to those public ranges too, or private ranges, if you will, where I can go shoot, and shoot and hang out and have camaraderie with other people. But the only way to help support those people is to go to those ranges, and you have to pay a fee to shoot there, of course. But another way to support those people is to buy brass. And the good thing about the brass at certain ranges, depending on where you're shooting at, it's pretty much all once fired brass. A lot of people that go out to those ranges to do practice or to learn their firearm are just people that are wanting to practice or learn their firearm. They're going down to their local store and they're buying good brass, brand new, cartridges already loaded. And then they're going out to the range, they're shooting them up and they're leaving them lay. So there's a lot of once fired cartridges at these ranges that the range owner is willing to sell you. And there's nothing wrong with purchasing that brass. It supports them. And I'm that way. I'll pick up a lot of range brass. When I go to a match and I have a couple buddies that they like to shoot, but they don't want to reload. They don't have the time for it, they say, but I know better. But anyway, so they drop their brass on the ground and they pick it up for me. And they put it in my bag. It's really cool that they do that. They spend the time, picking up the brass and for me, so I don't have to pick it all up. But there's nothing wrong with going to a range and paying a decent price for them picking it up, them sorting it, them going through it, seeing which ones are cracked and which ones are not. That extra time that they're putting worth it is more than worth it for me. The time that it takes me to walk around and pick up brass after a match is something that I could be utilizing that time somewhere else. So a lot of times I will go to one of my local ranges and I will purchase brass. There's no problem with that to me. I feel like I'm helping them out. They're helping me out. They're keeping the range open because a lot of these brass purchases go for the operation or buying new equipment at their range. So all this nonsense about, well, you should never buy brass. You should never buy lead. You should never buy this. It's nonsense. It is. Support the people who support you. Don't feel bad about it. Actually, when I purchase brass from a vendor or from a range, I feel good, especially the brass that I purchased today. I purchased a lot of brass today from a local range. And I felt great giving him the money. He sorted it out for me. He made sure they were good cases. Most of it's once fired brass. It's going to a good cause. It's going to him and his family. It's going to the range to buy more targets and buy more steel, and it's just a win-win. So all this nonsense about, oh, you should never buy brush, you should never buy brass, only use range pickup. It's nonsense. And all this nonsense it just needs to stop. You know, a lot of the knife community here on YouTube, you know, they've gone to well, you don't do this right, you don't do that right. And I don't want to see the reloading community going that way. Now, there are some channels on the reloading community where, you know, they're over-pressurizing their cartridges. They're caring more about one thing than another. I think we need to watch out for those. But maybe in long run, maybe those type of people will actually learn that, hey, there is a better way. All right, guys. Well, there's the video today. Sorry for the little rant, but don't ever, ever, ever feel like that you're not doing the right thing by purchasing brass from your local range. It goes to a great cause, and I'll continue to do it, and because I want to support the people that help me. All right, guys. Appreciate you. Thank you.